Roar. Growl. Snarl. Bellow.
Welcome to Paleobites, the podcast labeled under science and comedy, despite not being that educational and not that funny. My name is Matthew Dahl, and each week on a rotating series of guest co-hosts talk about and rate a genus of prehistoric animals, be it dinosaur, mammal, arthropod, and so on. This week I'm joined by Ben O'Regan.
Hey everyone,
Hey.
And this time we're going to be talking about the beak snout, Rhamphorhynchus.
The beak snout, indeed. Because most creatures that have beaks don't have snouts. What are you talking about? It's like when there's the creature called Gillicus, which is a fish, which means the gilled one. And I'm like, thanks. I'm glad you gave me that qualifier. I wouldn't have guessed otherwise. So,
And to a lot of people who might not know what Rhamphorhynchus is, it's one of the common stock pterosaurs that see when they're not using Pteranodon, it's this guy and Dimorphodon.
Yeah,
in fact, sometimes they give its teeth and its tail to Pteranodon for some bloody reason.
Yeah, or like pterodactyl. Like if there was just a random pterodactyl, which should be pterodactylus, which I haven't done an episode on. I probably should do pterodactylus. That'll be next with you after we do these other ones. But
Sure thing.
yeah, but Rhamphorhynchus, it has the tail and has the beak. So, but yeah.
Oh, have you done Gigantopithecus?
Yes, I have. Sorry. Well, that was one of my first ones. It was one of my first ones. It was like in episode 30 something, I think.
Oops, that was a couple of years ago. My bad.
That's okay. Yeah, no, it was during COVID. So, one of those COVID episodes. And, so...
We must find some primates to make fun of.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You and I have done a lot of primates. We did Australopithecus and Paranthropus, for sure. But, all right, Rhamphorhynchus, beak snout. A type, it's a Rhamphorhynchid pterosaur, a group of pterosaurs that are notable for their long tails, as opposed to the short-tailed pterodactyloid pterosaurs, which include almost all the other ones, including the big ones. Size, 6 feet / 1.8 meter wingspan, making it among the largest Jurassic pterosaurs, and certainly far bigger than Walking with Dinosaurs seem to depict it as.
And pterodactyloids, the group as a whole, don't seem to have gotten that far past the Jurassic either. If my information is right, that could have changed.
I think also pterodactyloids, like the oi part, it adds a big thing. It's because that makes it go beyond. I think because that includes the that includes the Asdarchids. So.
All right, but basically the group that includes this particular type, like Rhamphorhynchus and that.
Rhamphorhynchids are not pterodactyloids. That's what I was saying. So,
but the out of the two pterosaur branches, the one that includes them and Dimorphodon and that and all their other groups, that group itself does not seem to, or branch rather, does not seem to have gone very far into the Cretaceous, is what I was saying. But again, my info could be outdated.
I think you're actually right that the Rhamphorhynchids were I think it also includes the Dimorphodon. Like I say, I think they only came up to the early Cretaceous at the latest.
Weirdly enough, apparently Argentinosaurus from Walking with Dinosaurs might have actually made it as a group into the Cretaceous, because I think they now think that they're actually the earliest tailless ones, the Pteranodon's branch and all that.
Interesting. Yeah, we'll get to that next time for sure, because we have a whole list of more. We're going to talk about Argentinosaurus. Diet carnivore, particularly fish. Look at those teeth, man. Perfect for fishing. Time.
Yeah. This was definitely the stereotypical seagull type fella.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like when people picture a fishing pterosaur, it's this one. Time, Late Jurassic, 151 to 148 million years ago. Location, Germany has the best preserved specimens, but there are possible fossil remnants in England, Tanzania, and Spain as well.
Yep.
It was described in 1831. Pop culture appearances. The Walking with Dinosaurs episode Cruel Sea is the most notable appearance. While they mainly eat fish and squid, they're also seen eating the horseshoe crab.
Eating grubs.
Yeah, they see me eating the grub. You see me going to the trees and eating grubs from the trees, which I thought was kind of a nice detail.
Which for the time is very forward-thinking on pterosaurs, given, again, as we talked in the previous episode, that when this came out, Walking with Dinosaurs, they were still being depicted as predominantly bloody seagulls.
Right. Well, it's like it wanted to show that there was... Because that's why that episode, the Cruel Sea one, also had Streptospondylus in it. It was showing there's still stuff going on land. It's just this part's more isolated, mainly with sea creatures.
Indeed.
So yeah. So I really like when they do that. So and
I like that too. That's actually a good episode.
It is. It's one of my favorites. They're seen eating the horseshoe crab eggs, and are even seen circling the dying light pleurodon like vultures later on, and so like waiting their turn after the Streptospondylus leave. So That'd be tough meat for it, man. But I guess if it's...
And this fella was, I think, geographically and probably temporally, since, as you mentioned, it actually covered a good few tens of millions of years with various species.
Yeah.
If I read that right. It was a contemporary of Archaeopteryx.
It was. And also, it was a contemporary of Ichneurognathus. Because, not just in time, but also in place. Like, that episode with Ichneurognathus and Walking with Dinosaurs, whereas with Diplodocus, that was total bullshit. Like, it was not in Colorado, like where it was in Germany.
But then Walking with Dinosaurs has done this multiple times, like European Utahraptors. What the hell?
Right, for sure.
It's literally called Utahraptor.
I know, it's like, that was weird. And they even had the chance to have them in North America because we saw North America. Like, at the beginning of that episode. When before he cried. Yeah, but that was bizarre. I don't know. I guess they could have done Baryonyx, but I guess it wouldn't have hunted the Iguanodon. And I guess they had to have a raptor.
Well, we found a fossil remain of a Baryonyx with Iguanodon bones in its stomach, so they did eat them.
Oh, there you go. Well, they could have, I guess, but...
I don't think they outright predated on them, but I don't think they were strictly fish eaters either, because they didn't have the same restrictive
like the
build that
Rhamphorhynchus going after
does.
It's like the Rhamphorhynchus going after the grubs. Like, they ate whatever they could. You know, they're not picky. They're not like, I can only eat this. I mean, obviously...
It's like crocodiles. Crocodiles will just as happily eat fish, be they big or small, as
they're not going to
grab whatever's stupid enough to come near the shore.
Yeah, they're not going to just eat gazelles or wildebeest. They're also going to eat fish, so... So it's in Cruel Sea. It's also in Jurassic Park Builder, Jurassic World the Game, Dinosaur Revolution, Dinosaur Train, Path of Titans, the Land Before
and Jurassic Park Free Park Builder.
Yes, that's right.
For the Game Boy.
Yes, that's very interesting. The Land Before Time 7, The Stone of Cold Fire, which is the one with the aliens, and it's called Rinky, I think is that one's name. And
Rhinchus, and he was one of the henchmen of Uncle Tyranno.
Yeah.
Tyranno, sorry.
Yeah, and 1 million years BC. So, Rhamphorhynchus, it's a classic sea pterosaur, like you're mentioning. It had the teeth. If you look at the teeth, those are classic fish-eating teeth. They're very big and pointy and, like, meant for, like, gripping onto slippery fish. So...
Yeah. Looking at them actually reminds me of a Miyazaki-saurus, you know, the Abelosaurid Nolosaurid, rather, from Madagascar.
Yes, it looks very much like that, so... And
they're more upright than pointing out to the sides, but it's the same kind of jaws, teeth, I mean.
So it did show in Walking with Dinosaurs them skimming. The theory was that they could do it that way; they wouldn't get their wing membranes wet, as the theory. So they just skim it. But we now know they couldn't do that. And not only that, they were fine getting their wing membranes wet. A lot of things depict them like gannets, like they think they could have actually been good swimmers.
So we know they can't do skimming because their neck's not that flexible or something, or is it their size?
It's because their necks and like they're not that flexible, and like it's just like the water would create too much drag.
Fair enough.
Especially while flying. So, but no, they could tuck like Jurassic World, the first one, when it's showing that poor babysitter's death. That it was one of the few times where it showed in media. Yeah, pterosaurs can swim. They can't just they don't just fly. They can also swim really well. Like so. Like, and that's a thing that I think is important to see because, like, these probably would have been like gannets.
Like, if the mosasaur hadn't jumped in that scene to eat them both, that is a horrible way to die. Yeah, because she was necessarily painful, but just the fact that the thing's bloody waterboarding you.
It's waterboarding. It is painful, and drowning is, I've heard, a very. I don't know. To be fair, I don't know how you know this because I don't know how.
True, I didn't realize waterboarding was painful, but bloody hell.
And also, drowning, I've heard, is a very painful way to go. I don't know how they know that, because how would you know that if you haven't died from drowning? But
it's probably from cases like where you get people that where they try to do suicides and some stuff, and then they're backed out because it's too painful.
Right, maybe.
That's when people do themselves, like when you're executed by drowning, or like the mafia stereotype of wrap them in like a bag and tie them down underwater.
Sleep with the
That's
fishes.
Why you generally use rocks or a heavy bag and stuff. It's because it's not a quick way to go.
Yeah, or like the iron boot or whatever it is, the thing where it's like they have a version of that in Aladdin of all places where they throw them into the ocean. Boot. Yeah, where like I forget what's called. Where it's like you drop them, or cement shoes is what they are.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, they have a version of that. It's not cement shoes, but in Aladdin, it's the same idea where they throw him into the ocean with a ball and chain so that to weigh him down.
Was that Prince of Thieves, the one where his dad turns up and they're looking for the hand of Midas?
No, it's in the first one. It's when the genie has to save him by faking one of the wishes, like he.
Right. I have to rewatch the original one now, because the only one I've seen recently is the live-action one, which, as far as live-action Disney goes, that one's actually decent.
I like that live-action one. I think it's nice. I think it's good. So, Rhamphorhynchus, sea pterosaur, like, pretty cool, has long tail. Has a tail that often has, like, a little knob at the end, like a dragon. And I think that's cool. I don't know if we actually know it had that, or if that's just an artistic thing. From every thing I've seen of it, it looks like it does have it. How do they know it had it? Hold on, let's see.
It does. I'll even show you. See here. One of those well-preserved remains of it with the wing imprints.
Oh, so we do see... Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. So it does have it. Okay, there we go. So that's not just an artistic thing to look like a dragon. I wonder if those dragons that have them are kind of based off of that.
Have you noticed that a lot of dinosaurs and pterosaurs, like mainly theropods and pterosaurs, but when we find their remains, they tend to have a specific death posture? Like with their arms raised up and their head like arched back over their back.
Yeah, because they were like, well, it's because the way they were preserved with their when they get buried, their bodies get buried by a flood or by mud or something. It pushes their head back. And in fact, there's
also seems to be a specific death pose too, which is weird.
Yeah, but there's a creature that we found, a dinosaur we found that doesn't have that. And it's actually found it was asleep. It's called Hypnovenator, and it's called that because hypno means sleep. It's called Sleep Hunter. So we found it.
That's a dumb name. It's awesome, but like meaning wise,
it was found. It's called that because we found it sleeping. Its head was buried in its back like a bird. So it must have been in like a burrow or something, sleeping, and then the burrow might have collapsed or something.
Well, we've had that happen with a few early amphibians too.
That's right. The amphibian and the reptile that were buds, that were roommates, like in the Triassic, right?
Yeah.
Anyways, I was going to ask.
You get that on some of the New Zealand islands where we've rehomed our tuataras, where they'll share burrows of like the albatross or seagulls, because the tuatara eats the bugs that are attracted by the seagull shit.
Hold on, I'm asking the most reliable source of all, ChatGTP, about if dragons with the fin tails are inspired by Rhamphorhynchus. They're drawn like that. I don't think they were drawn with that medieval art. Tails that end in little fans, almost forked.
There's even a famous photo
of Rhamphorhynchus, or of a dragon.
Rhamphorhynchus Leptolopides, extinct raven fish from the Tithonian.
Oh, that's cool. I like that. That's really cool. With the fish, that's cool. I wonder how that happened. So.
Reminds me of what's that one called? Not the big one from the Cretaceous, Zippicanthus or whatever, the big demon-toothed fish where it's got alligator garlic.
Zipphactinus, where we found it with Gillicus in its mouth, in its stomach. So,
I did research, by the way. You did start the winged T-Rex theory.
I did? Oh no!
Nah, I'm kidding.
Oh God, I can believe it though, because that guy was probably on that forum. But I will. I don't know.
Yeah.
It looks like the spade tail, which Rhamphorhynchus has, is common in Western medieval style dragons, and it seems to have started in the 1800s, and that is also when pterosaurs like Rhamphorhynchus, they were in books and science magazines, were shown with paleo art from the Victorian era, and they would have had it there. While there's no artists outright saying that they were inspired by Rhamphorhynchus for their dragon tail things, it isn't seen in any modern animals, so it's a strong case that Rhamphorhynchus did inspire that. So
again, it makes sense because one of the when you look at early reconstructions, even when they started moving away from the whole, the Crystal Palace iguanodon, where they're like big horned lizard rhinos, they were still depicting like the pterosaurs and like the marine reptiles as basically sea and air dragons.
Right.
Because of that whole Victorian mindset of that they were primitive, evil reptiles, because reptiles are not, like, they were seen as, like, you know, biblical serpent type shit.
Right. Well, see, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, is there any art of dragons with the spade tail that is pre Rhamphorhynchus? Like, is there any medieval art with it on there? I don't think there is, but
No, I'll have a look for you.
okay, while you're doing that, I'm going to rate Rhamphorhynchus 55 million because it's a classic. It's stock for a reason. It's really hard to spell. There's too many H's in it. You look at it, and you'd look at a name like Rhamphorhynchus. You hear that. You don't hear a single H. There's 4 H's in this thing. Like, there's...
I would struggle to type this accurately, even though I can say it accurately.
The only one that's phonetically there, and it's even only phonetically like phonetic PH, is the faux. So it's Rhamphorhynchus. There's 4 H's in this thing.
Ah, okay, now. Ooh, books.
Yeah, so... yeah.
Yeah, can't see any of that dragon stuff I was looking for, so you're probably right.
Yeah, okay, well, Rhamphorhynchus inspired modern... Well, until told otherwise, Rhamphorhynchus inspired modern dragon art with the spade tails. Anyways, I rate it 55 million. What about you?
Because it's stock, I'm going to rate it right in the middle, 32.5.
32.5. Good stuff. All right, well, that's it for this week. If you want to get a hold of the show, you can contact me at palebaitespodcast@gmail.com or palebaitespodcast on Instagram or TikTok, Blue Sky, or Matthew Donald 64 on Instagram, Blue Sky or TikTok, or Matthew Donald Creator on Facebook. I have a book series on Amazon Megazoic available for print and Kindle. There is a Rhamphorhynchus in it, and it's kind of plot important. I might cut this out from the main episode because because this is spoiler stuff, but the Patreon. Anyways, all right. Well, we will see you guys next time on Paleobites.
See ya!
Thanks for listening. If you want to further support the show, you should subscribe to my Patreon at patreon.com/MatthewDonald, where you can get ad-free episodes and you can get the raw, unedited episodes. So go and check it out at patreon.com/MatthewDonald. Thank you so much for listening and have a good day. Chomp.